Hey.
Woo!
If y'all would have saw my face right now.
Nobody know. I honestly don't know what's going on with Monique today, but it's okay.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's going on with you today. I walk in here and you are not hype.
I'm sorry. I am hype. What you talking about?
I guess she was concentrating.
I was concentrating. My bad. What's
What's
up,
y'all?
guys?
Oh my God.
Was
Look at my ear. Look at my ear. I can't hear myself.
Nigga, are you high? What is the problem
I'm actually not. I don't know. You know what? I worked out at work today. I did the yoga. We have yoga twice a week in the office, and I did it today. I think that's why I'm feeling energized.
I think you just need to get it together and not be tripping right now.
All right.
Anyways, it's your girls Never Not Extra, and we are back at it again on this Young Tuesday. It's your girl Kirsten
and Moni,
and we are here
in your ears, giving you what you want to hear. Hey.
You rap like Will Smith.
That's
funny as it. That is
What's
funny.
up, Devontae? What's up, Michael?
That is so funny.
I don't even know why I'm calling him Devontae now. His name is Teddy.
I can't. You know what?
Teddy.
I have to call him Devontae now.
Why? Because he's not Teddy no more?
Yeah, I mean, because it's just like, you know why? Because when I be like, oh, something like Teddy, Sean be looking like, who the fuck?
No, Sean really be looking like,
who the fuck is Teddy? And
Devontae?
And then it's just like, I don't feel right calling somebody else's nigga Teddy.
Facts.
So,
These
no,
are the facts.
Nigga, your name is Devontae now.
Okay. Government name.
Devontae. Anyways, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you know what it is. We will be recapping on the Netflix series When They See Us. Now, if you have not watched it, you better not listen because it will be a spoiler alert. Real life. If you did watch it, please feel free to get in the comments, call in, share what it is that you think about it. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Devontae said he was Teddy before Sean.
Okay, well, nigga, you Devontae now.
Look, he trying to say, look, I got my own identity.
That's fine,
okay?
but no, I'm not calling him Teddy no more.
Hi, Jalil. Thank you for listening. Appreciate ya.
Hi, Jalil. I'm not in the comments yet. I'm sorry. I'm like trying to do crap.
It's all good. It is all good. So basically, I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. I was familiar with the story of the Central Park Five, or I feel like Oprah calls them the Exonerated Fives. So that's more fitting because that's, who they are, and, it doesn't define them to be the Central Park Five because that's what they were called when people thought that they actually raped that woman.
Right.
So I was familiar with the story a little bit, but definitely was good to be able to watch the special that Ava DuVernay executive produced and wrote and all
you
directed.
Say her name good. I butcher that shit every single time.
Is that how you say it? I don't even really know.
I don't know, but it sounded right to me.
Yeah. So I think it was great to be able to watch that with some amazing actors and amazing writers and everything. Be able to paint the story for people to see, and for a newer generation that may not be as familiar with the case as, the parents, kind of just breathing life into it and telling the story that those 5 men deserve to be told. So we'll get into that today. Tomorrow is Juneteenth, so we got to do it for the blacks. And
what is wrong with you? Oh my God.
We got to do it for our people and, shed light on this story further. And, later on in the episode, we'll get into a few fun things. We have a game and a bonus question.
A bonus question. Oh, okay. We totally skipped over Michael. Hi, Michael. Or did you say hi to Michael?
I said hi to Michael.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry. Hi, Michael.
Yeah.
Chris said his first time hearing about this was watching the miniseries. I have a problem with Chris. Like, Chris...
What is that?
I really don't want to have to disown you, but you just keep disappointing me, and I don't know how I feel about it. But it's okay. We'll talk about it.
Anyway, we're gonna discuss all of that and all of that. But anyways, Kirsten / Shayna
/ whatever else you want to call me
/ Shayners / Puerto Rican mommy.
I know Puerto Rican. What the fuck?
I don't know. How was your week? Leading up to today.
It was cool. My brain just went. What was the highlight? Oh, we went to. What are you doing? I promise y'all we don't do drugs. I just really don't know what's going on with Mommy today. She's like, she must have had a good day. She's just like really giddy. And I feel like she's lying about these glasses being prescription.
They are prescription.
Y'all, I'm about to put her on our Insta story if you want to see. Because
tomorrow is Juneteenth.
Don't fist talk me.
Tomorrow's Juneteenth and I'm wearing my Malcolm X glasses. Nigga, and there's nothing that you can do.
I ain't never seen you wear prescription glasses since I known you. And
okay, they're not prescription, but they blue light glasses. Okay, they block the blue light from computer screens. I advise everyone to wear them, especially if you're on the computer all day.
Well, now I have an issue with you because you lied to me.
And if you're on your phone a lot and you have the light, the blue light is damaging to your eyes. Okay, you can log on to Amazon.com and you can use our promo code Never Not Extra, and you could purchase. Hey, that sounds real good.
Lying through her teeth.
That sounds like a real organic podcast sponsorship. Oh my God, we should look. You know how when you listen to podcasts,
fake ass promo code. What is going on?
You know how
today?
when you listen to podcasts and they be like, oh. Check out Audible and use our promo code. That's what it really sounded like. Anyways, brands, if y'all ever want to holler at your girls, we got ad time.
Okay, I'm calling her y'all right now. Anyway, so my week was good. I went to the festival over the weekend, the Smoke and Grooves Festival, which was really fun. I thought Moni was gonna fight me because I left early.
I wasn't going to fight you. I just felt bad that you left early.
Okay, so here's the thing. I really had to boo-boo, and I really just could not use the porta potty. If you noticed, I held I didn't use the bathroom the whole time he was there. I couldn't do it
for Usher?
No. I don't need to see him. I didn't need to see him that bad.
No. I'm, okay. I didn't want to be like that to you, but you for sure missed out with Usher. That was like...
I seen all of the performance. I didn't feel no excitement.
No, nigga. We were too hyped. Like, imagine a crowd full of people in their late 20s. Like,
I mean, I get it. I mean, I really do like Usher, but I couldn't think properly having to boo-boo and, like, how bad my feet were hurting. So I was just like, I'm good. I seen Erica, like, several times.
Girl, did we tell you that she came out 30 minutes late?
Did they cut her mic like they cut Commons?
I don't know if they cut her mic. I think she only wanted to perform for 30 minutes, so she knew what she was doing.
Oh, okay. Well,
because I feel like she's done that before.
That was kind of like the highlight of my weekend. Was basically like, I guess the festival. What did I do on Sunday? Oh, and then Sunday was Father's Day, which is nice. Just went around to all the fathers that are in my life. You know, grandpa, dad, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And my boyfriend.
I didn't call my grandpa. I'm not a good granddaughter. I didn't.
But yeah, that was it. You know, got some barbecue and other stuff. But it was pretty chill. It was just quick. That's all. Like, I just felt like because I did the festival and because Father's Day was the next day, my weekend just went by really quick. But other than that, it was a pretty good weekend.
What did we do on Friday?
Nigga, and I did my own hair.
Ooh.
And it's cute.
Shout out to all the shorties out there that can do their own hair.
Okay.
You're saving yourself
It took me, like, I started at like 9:30 and I didn't finish till like 3:12 in the morning. But this was my first time actually like braiding, twisting, whatever, doing my own hair because I don't ever do that. I normally have to pay for it, but adulting life has changed things that you need to pay for. So I just jumped in, I did it myself, and it came out cute. And I've gotten a lot of compliments, so I'm really happy about it.
What's the name that you gave for them?
I called them Bohemian Dread Twist.
That's what's up.
I'll post a picture on our Never Not Extra story so y'all can see what my hair look like, and then y'all can do a vote and tell me if it's cute or not. And if you say it's not cute, then we not friends no more.
Do you remember when those posts first came out? And I think people thought they was anonymous.
Oh, I know, huh? Because people was like doing hella shit.
Yeah,
that's messed up.
And the questions. The questions would be cool if they were anonymous.
Yeah. How was your week?
My week was good. I went to the festival also. I was really looking forward to that. I love festivals. I feel like I haven't been in a while. So
I don't know how your feet don't be hurting.
Jail insoles. Jail insole, sweetheart. Keith said, well, what if it's really not cute? Then go ahead and vote no. Be real.
I don't like Keith. Keith he has to just purposely do the opposite of everything.
I know. But yeah, I had a lot of. I bought some gel insoles. I'm a festival pro at this shit. Okay, I know what makes me comfortable. I had a really good time.
Orthopedic shoes.
Yes. Yep. I appreciate you guys for coming. I know y'all wanted to go, but then I kind of forced it on y'all a little bit. But yeah, I had a really fun time. I feel like I went with a great group. I loved y'all energy. I saw like 85% of the people that I wanted to see at the festival. It was great. Met some really cool people. And yeah.
Oh,
and
you met
Father's
friends?
Day-
You met new friends?
Well, I didn't follow them on Instagram. That really solidifies the friendship. But
Wow.
I had a deep ass
the
conversation
generation we live in.
with the people behind us at Usher because this girl started crying because her and her boyfriend broke up. So me and Stephanie was giving her all the keys in life to help her.
Wow.
And of course they was playing Let It Burn and Confessions and all that. So she was really crying. But
wow.
but yeah, it was a good weekend. Sunday we cooked for my dad. Your girl Mason.
Oh yeah, I came to your house on Sunday.
Yeah, Shannon came by. She didn't get none of this cheesecake though. Because,
I don't eat cheesecake. That's why.
But it was really good. Well, actually, I didn't even like that much, but my family liked it. So.
Yeah, but I'm not a cheesecake person.
Well,
it looks good. I mean,
yeah, it does.
It looks really presentable and edible.
It looks edible. It looks edible.
I'm just really not a cheesecake person, but it looked really pretty. Like, it looked like I wouldn't want to like mess it up. How you put the little Oreo cookie crumble on top? That was cute.
Yeah. Anyways, it's been a good week. And now my new week is off to a good start.
Good. I'm happy. Clearly it is, because how you been acting since you got here.
I did yoga today, okay?
Okay, well, so you let all the gas and stuff out.
The gas? No, I was really holding in my fart. Making sure I didn't, because the room was really quiet.
So they not gonna know who did it. You just go.
Nah.
That's what the fart sounded.
It was like 4 people in the room. They would have knew. Oh, Simone, you out here pooting.
Oh
hey,
my
Ray,
gosh.
thank you for listening.
Hey, Ray.
All right. Yeah. So let's get into it.
Let's get it started. Hi. Let's get it started in here. Dang. Imagine if Black Eyed Peas was at a festival. It would be stupid. It'd be so dumb.
Nah,
yeah.
Nah.
And I'm not even like a super fan of them, but it'll be hype.
I swear it'd be the people that you don't think that you're a fan of, and I'm gonna get off it in a minute. But it'd be the people that you don't think you're a fan of, like Raphael Sadiq.
He had the best performance at Afro
He had the best performance, and that I was looking forward more to Solange than him. But
he had the best. What's happening?
Will is talking. I gotta take these off.
Oh, your non-prescriptions, you gotta take them off. Y'all really fucking up the theory of women don't shit.
Oh,
okay. Well, I don't know why you ever thought that. Hi, Joe. Why do? Never mind. That's a topic for another day. I'm not even gonna get into that.
That's what I was gonna say earlier. If I gotta go, I gotta go. If I want to see Usher, and it's porta potties, you just gotta.
But I had on those bell bottom pants, and I didn't want somebody else's pee or shit residue on the bottom of my pants because I was gonna throw the pants away. Ain't no washing them. Like
ain't no washing, boo boo.
Yeah, I would have had to just throw them away, and I couldn't even take the smell of the porta potty. So no.
Have you boo booed on yourself?
We gotta save
that for another episode.
I have. But it was an accident. I got sick. It was like just coming out uncontrollably. And I had to run home. I had to run all the way home. Because I was like blocks away from my house at a McDonald's.
Would you wipe your man's dookie if he shit on himself?
If he was like not capable of doing it himself, yes.
That's love. Black love. We love to see it.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into the topic. So, are you recording me?
No, I'm not recording you.
Okay. I fucking lie.
I'm not recording you.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna get into the topic. We watched When They See Us over the weekend. It's been out for a while, and I was actually really excited when I heard about it coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as it came out, I was kind of like very hesitant. It took me a while to watch it.
Me too. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready, and a lot of that is because of people that I knew that watched it were like, first 15 minutes of it, I had to cut it off or whatever. How do you guys feel in the comments? Was it difficult for you to watch? And Shayna, why do you think it is that it was difficult for people to watch?
I guess like I had to mentally prepare myself because, and I don't want anybody to take this wrong, but it's like just stuff that happens like in everyday life, like where we hear about injustice for Black people or people of color and all that stuff.
Right.
I be mad going into work, and them people didn't even do nothing to me, but I already be having a mindset like, dang, like y'all really privileged, and although we're all in the same facility, if I were to do something that y'all did, like I would get a totally different consequence than you would. You know what I mean? So it's just like I just already be mad about that type of stuff, and I guess I really like.
Wait, while you're talking, Chris, please expand on that. Why it wasn't difficult for you? Chris is in the comments. He said
Chris
it wasn't
doesn't
difficult
matter.
for him to watch.
Chris doesn't matter. Ray said porta potties are a different type of nasty. Yes, they are. But I guess like for me, it was just like I feel like it would be difficult for people to watch because you kind of, some people, like I guess that were I would say adults during that time, you have to think about how that could have really mentally messed up those now men. They were children. Like barely teenagers.
Imagine yourself when you were 14, 15.
Yeah. And so I guess it would, and I wouldn't, I honestly, as I was watching it, it wasn't really hard for me to watch. I would say like it wasn't like, it was just like, oh my God, I can't watch this. But it was just like, what the fuck? Like I was like really getting mad because I'm like, you're basically saying without saying, you know that they didn't do it, but because they were there, they did something. So we're just going to say that they did this. And
if you guys haven't seen it, just to give you some context, pretty much the first episode, I think the second episode as well, it's a 4-part miniseries, is basically documenting how the kids were like arrested and how they were all interrogated and how they were all fed the same story to blame it on each other and how they ultimately ended up being coerced into those confessions.
Right. So if I'm being honest, I wouldn't say that it was actually hard for me to watch, but it definitely pissed me off watching it. But I wouldn't say it was hard for me to watch. I guess because it's just like we see it every day now.
I don't see it every day. It was very difficult for me. I mean,
like on social media, you know, like things that happen every day, like cops beating up people and shooting kids and all that other stuff. So,
and I think that the film did its intention of those prolonged scenes, of them like, you know, being beaten and all of that, and it progressively made you more and more pissed off. Yeah. Like just the whole circumstances of it. So that part was difficult for me to watch. And I think also, I'm sure a lot of us, if we have younger siblings, like how you have your younger brothers or any Black men in our life, you kind of see it and you automatically think of them. Yeah. And just like how innocent and clueless they were to the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's what kind of makes me think about that because it's like my brothers could literally be somewhere and just because they could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, this could happen to them.
Exactly.
Granted, not as much as it happened then because they were able to just do whatever the hell they wanted to do then. It was different laws, regulations, and all that other stuff. But yeah. To answer your question, I don't want to go too far off because I don't know what other questions you have, but
no, I shared
it wasn't I didn't look at it yet, but it wasn't hard for me to watch, but it definitely
it was hard for me to watch. It was kind of like I could see because Pearl was saying that she had to take a break, and I heard my other friend said that he had to watch it in like episode quarters.
Oh really?
He had to watch it like that.
I watched it,
but he's from New York. So it probably resonated a little more with him.
I think it depends on the person. Yeah. I honestly do think it depends on the person. Before the comments get out of hand, Keith said, shit made me dislike all white women. Joe said, not difficult at all. Willis said, horror film for Black folks, documentary for everyone else. Yeah, I guess so.
No, it really is.
Keith said, it made Willis more racist. Chris said, I was just able to get through it, although literally it was sad as hell, but it just wasn't difficult for me to watch it. I mean, I can understand that, Chris. Willis said, it solidified my fear of white women. LOL, Keith, that is true. Oh my God.
Yeah, I asked on my story, what did they think about it, and Peril said it was beautifully executed. Took me 2 weeks to watch because it felt like an ongoing horror film. The first 2 episodes for sure felt like it's like every parent's worst fear, you know? Yeah. And I think that's the thing that and this goes into our next question, which is how do you feel about the interrogation scenes, and do you know anyone who may experience something like this? But I think what really got to me was the fact that, like, you know, you feel like when you're a kid, you feel like your parents are superheroes, and it's like when you get in trouble, they come up. Well, say if it's something that you didn't do, you get in trouble, they come up to the school, they there to save you, they there to take you home, they there to pick you up. I know, like, you know, back when I had, like, just for example, like cramps, I didn't have to go to the office to get a note. I would just, like, go out the side gate because my mom will be there to pick me up. But the feeling of, like, the feeling for the parent and for the child of, like, there's nothing that can save you. Like, once you get in the law's hands and they want to do what they want to do to you, there's nothing that your mom can do to save you. That shit is, like, a scary feeling.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure it is. Can you tell me the question again?
Yeah. So the question is, how do you feel about the interrogation scenes, and do you know anyone who may have experienced anything like that?
So that part, I would say, like, maybe kind of hit home for me. I have a cousin, and he's in jail right now, actually. But I think that's pretty much all he knows. He was never, like, a bad kid, but he just always hung around the wrong crowd, which is kind of like how these boys, when, like, everybody was like, oh, we're going to have a party in the park, but they were really going, just like how they said, like, I didn't know they were going to beat up that guy. Like, you know, I just thought we were going to hang out in the park, hanging around the wrong crowd, you know. But my cousin was hanging around these boys, and these boys, like, stole somebody else's bike or something like that and maybe beat up the kid. I don't remember, like, the full story. And he ran and went home. But while my aunt was not home, from what I was told, the police just kind of went in her house and took him out of the house because they were told that it was him who took the bike and did whatever. And they pretty much scared him into signing whatever it is that he signed and all this other stuff without my aunt present, without a guardian present, without any adult present.
Right.
And by the time that happened, they were already, you know, getting ready to send him to juvie.
Very similar to how it went down in this to these men. And
he's been in and out of jail ever since. You know, he's gotten out and stuff like that, but imagine going in as a teenager. I think he was maybe like 13, 14 at the time.
That's sick.
And he didn't get out till 22, something like that. 22, 23. He was out for a little bit. But then, like, any little thing that happens or anybody that you're around after that, you just keep going back in. And so he's been out a few times, but he just keeps going back in. And I honestly just feel like at this point, he's just more comfortable in that environment because that's really all he knows.
13 through 22, that's a very pivotal time in your life where you learn.
Yeah, and it's really fucked up because a lot of parents don't really have means to get good lawyers and things like that, and they never even really, like, took him. He never really got to appear in court for anything. They just kept him in there. It was just kind of like they kept prolonging everything till it just, like, never happened, you know. And it's just really sad, and it just really pisses me off that police officers think they could just do whatever the fuck they want to do and not have, you know, a child's and that's why it's important to, like, kind of teach your child too, like, you don't speak to nobody. If I'm not there, or if you don't have somebody there to protect you, then you don't have to say anything, you know. But it was different for these kids. Like, they were slapping them up and scaring them and all this other stuff, and then playing them too, like, oh, well, this person said that you did this, so if you want to if you want to go home, lying to them, if you want to go home, just say that they did it, and then we could do that.
I think they did a really good job of painting the picture, because I'm sure a lot of people before the series came out was like, well, why did they confess? Why did they confess on video? It's like they did.
For me, I could already understand why they confessed on video. Yeah. I knew that something had to happen, and then the thing that really, because what I didn't know was that they actually did not know each other.
I didn't know that they didn't know each other.
Only two of them actually knew each other.
Yusuf and Corey.
And that is what made it crazy to me. It's like, you're interrogating these children that don't even know each other and making them blame stuff on each other.
That's wild. RDS is in the comments and said, the most difficult parts for me were watching the black men act as cowards and become the puppets to carry out the racism evoked by the system. The thing is, they were not men. they were kids.
Yeah, they were children.
Sleep
and the
deprived,
lady referred to them as animals, and they
Yeah.
grilled them for hours. And like you said, they didn't allow them to sleep or eat or anything. And it
I think this person might also be referring to how the dad was like, just say.
Oh yeah,
just say what they tell you to say.
And that was another thing that kind of got to me, because it showed how uneducated Black people were back then on what their rights were. Although it was still a lot of racism, it was just like, oh, he threatened for me. Okay, let me tell you why I got mad about the dad situation. I got mad because fuck your job. Like, you're working for your kid. Like, the whole purpose of you having a job is to take care of your kid.
Child.
So it's like, okay, so what, they found out about your job and you worried about losing it? Like, you're gonna let you're gonna let them take your kid? Like, you're just gonna believe what they say? How can you believe that they're gonna let your child go home when they're trying to blackmail you? How can you believe that? But it just shows you how uneducated Black people were, like, really were on their rights. And it showed, like, you know, like the different things of how different people were, like, educated and things like that.
Maria's in the comments as well. Thank you for listening, Maria. She said, she said once you fit the description, it gives them the right, which is fucked up because all the description has to be is Black. What is this?
Okay, you guys, sorry, we have to take a really quick break.
Hi, Danny.
We have Flour and Sugar in the house.
Flour and Sugar, follow her on Instagram.
Okay, so guys, sorry, quick pause. I know the conversation was getting a little juicy.
Getting real juicy.
But Moni's birthday is on Thursday. Woo!
No, it's not. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's on Thursday.
I'm mad you just left me hanging.
A real one was born on June 20th.
I'm really mad that you just left me.
This is cute. What's happening? Aw.
So
you didn't have to do this.
I'm going to sing happy birthday.
Banana pudding. I'm about to eat that shit right now.
Wait, don't take that one out. Oh, you got the candle for me. Okay.
Okay.
So I wanted to do something really nice and sweet for you, and I know you don't eat cake. So this is what I thought of. And my girl Danny had my back. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny.
So if you guys want to join me in singing happy birthday to Moni, I would greatly appreciate it. Are you trying to record me? Just don't get my pimple. I think I drank, because I drank soda and it was just like,
girl, can't nobody see your pimple from here.
I can. Okay, you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Moni. Happy birthday to you. I don't know if you wanted to blow a candle out. Did you want to blow a candle out?
It don't look like it's prepped.
Okay, that's okay.
I'll pretend in my head.
Yeah,
though.
can
That
you
was
just
really
blow
sweet.
on the happy birthday thing? Oh, yay! Okay, I'm going to take a picture. And then this is for you as well.
Oh, my God. What? Are you? This is going to be gone. No, I can't eat it tonight. I'm intermittent fasting.
Okay, it's okay. You can eat it, like, over time.
Okay, I'll eat it over time. I'm dead.
Okay, wait. I have to get her, you guys, so you guys can see. So if you guys follow us on Instagram, you can look at the Insta story to see what I got Moni for.
It's a huge banana
birthday.
pudding. And you guys could order your own banana pudding from Flour and Sugar. Find them on Instagram and put in your orders. And it's really delicious. And it's made with love.
Hold up your banana pudding. Happy birthday, Moni.
Thank you. Honestly, like, okay, let me tell y'all something.
I love you so much. Happy birthday.
Love you too. Thank you. I didn't like for this year, I guess, because next year is my 30th. No, but I didn't really like want to acknowledge it. I guess I could have invited people to come to the show or whatever, but yeah, I didn't think we would acknowledge it. But thank you, that was really sweet for doing something special. I appreciate it. But
of course, I know that you didn't want to do anything, but I know that you didn't want me to make it a big deal, so I just asked Danny to do her thug thistle.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. I'm doing a whole lot of celebrating this weekend. So if you want to come out, holla at me. You feel me? We finna turn up. But right now it's just a Tuesday night. And we finna eat some banana pudding.
Well, you finna eat some banana pudding. I don't eat banana pudding.
This is gonna be really hard for me to not eat tonight.
Just eat that one. That's why I made you a little one.
No.
Okay.
I'm intermittent fasting.
Okay.
By the way, everybody, I lost 5 pounds.
Woo!
From last week. I lost 8 pounds in total.
I told you you looked smaller when I saw you. Anyways, I'm sorry guys for that intermission. But I have to surprise Moni because Moni is like, she's so nosy and I can't do anything.
I really am because they planning this surprise thing on Friday. And I'm like, oh, okay, who did you invite? Can you invite this person? Because
you can't tell somebody how to do a surprise for you.
She shouldn't have told me. If she wanted it to be a surprise, she should have just left it like that.
She needed to make sure you weren't going to make plans.
She could have said that, but anyways, I'm very appreciative. Thank you. I need to celebrate myself more and like not be a little, but I am this weekend. I'm a
okay.
Get cute, okay, and we're gonna have a good time.
Okay, ready?
Gang, Gemini/Cancer gang.
Don't claim Cancer because that's not what you are.
I am.
You're a Gemini.
Why I'm not a Cancer? How am I a Gemini?
Because that's the date that your birthday falls on.
Okay, but what are the characteristics?
Gemini, everything Simone. I can't stand these glasses, and I'm gonna end up fighting her if she look over the top of these glasses at me again. I wish y'all could see her.
The comments are getting really good.
Okay. Let me catch up. So Maria said once you fit the description, it gives them right, and she put quotations.
It gives them right.
Is basically what she was saying. Chris said, I've been in a situation somewhat like that. I was with some friends in 8th grade. They wanted to go throw apples at some cars that were passing. I went with them. Someone hit a car, oh my gosh, with the apple, and they called the police. So everyone ran. The police came and caught up with me and one of my friends. They put us in cuffs and said we fit the description. Mind you, the description was 2 dark-skinned boys in gray. I had on an all red Dickie suit, and my boy had on a black one. Why did y'all have on Dickie suit? Okay. The place we were at had cameras, but they kept swearing it was me only. They took my cuffs off, and I texted my mom on the low. She rushes up there and had them run the cameras back and saw
I
it
know
wasn't
your
me.
mom was up there. Wow.
Chris' mom does not. I could tell she don't play.
She does not play.
But I know you probably got your ass whipped for even going with them to throw apples at somebody's car. Chris.
You shouldn't have been doing that. Facts.
RDS said, I'm talking about the fathers and the prison guards. Yes.
Yeah, no, yes, I agree with you. RDS.
Maria said, when you don't, who is RDS? RDS, who are you? Because I don't want to refer to you as RDS. I would like to know your name. Maria said, when you don't know your rights, you will get eaten up. Cops play their cards. They will put recording machines in the cop cars and hold it against you. They will also promise things to you to make you confess. That's true.
Fucked up.
Joe said this is still a regular occurrence in other states. Black men are going to jail with no bail for petty crimes. That is completely true.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely true. And then there's everyone telling you happy birthday.
Jimmy
said twerk something. So DJ Dash said, "Hey, reggae horn."
Is that a reggae horn?
I don't know. But that's the one I'm doing though. Chris says she don't eat cake? ?
I don't. I eat cake, but I'm not like a cake person.
She's more of like a pie.
Honestly, I like Danny's cakes.
Yeah, her cakes are good.
No, they're good.
That's probably the only cake I do actually eat.
I'm not like a cake person.
Yeah. Ray said, "Oh, happy early birthday, girl."
Thank
Maria
you.
said, "Happy birthday, Moni. Wish I was there to sing to you."
Oh,
Chris said, "Happy early
singing.
birthday." Jimmy said, "Happy early birthday, Moni. Twerk something." Dash said, "Happy early birthday. I'll take the banana pudding." Ron said, "Maria, hey lady, I'm only in for a minute. Good news, people." Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Chris said she went ham, but she knocked me the fuck out when we left. Oh, about throwing apples.
The mom. His mom. Nah, that's facts. I'll share my story. I don't know if it's okay. Whatever. I'll keep it anonymous. But anyways, someone that I know,
mm-hmm.
And I just told you this recently, and it kind of actually just came to mind.
Mm-hmm.
But, a little bit different. He met this girl on an app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She came over.
Mm-hmm.
They had sex.
Mm-hmm.
She was acting weird when she left. A couple hours later, police came to his house to arrest him because she went to the police station and said that he raped her. Okay, so he ended up like, even though he knew he didn't do it, there's no shit that he could do because it was her word against his, basically. And
right. And there was nobody else.
Yeah, it was nobody else. So he ended up staying in jail for a couple days, and they had like a court hearing or whatever, and she didn't show up. So they like dismissed the case, and he didn't have any evidence. But it's just like the fact, I'm not too familiar with the criminal system and all of that, but it's just like very disheartening to know that you can be arrested and treated any way off some shit that you didn't do, or that like it's not, you know, proven immediately. So
yeah. The crazy thing is too is that the case doesn't go away if the person doesn't show up. You get what I'm saying? Like like someone accusing you of that doesn't just go away. It's like the accusation is still there, police reports, all the other stuff. It's not that they just throw it out. It's just they don't have any case to go off on because she didn't show up.
I think it's
so
also
it's like
he didn't have evidence on his body.
Yeah. So he would literally have to sue her to like completely clear his name. Like
that's
would
that's
have to
what
like
he's
sue
gonna
her.
do.
Yeah. He should. But yeah, it's really disheartening to see what they did to those boys. And like RDS was saying in the comments, the fact that, you know, some parents were just like, okay, well, they said they're gonna make a deal. Like they're allowing their kids to lie on somebody else, thinking that their kid is gonna go home, and that's absolutely not what happened at all. And basically like punking out. Now, one of the moms, she came in and she just took her son out. Like, shame on you, you know. To that. Now, one thing that aggravated me was that it showed how much parents weren't rigid to their kids. People are going to disagree with me on that. Whatever. I get it. Parents have to work hard. You know, these weren't like,
this was the 80s though. That's
it
something
was.
that
They
you
have
didn't
to.
really
They have to
worry
work
about.
Yeah. They had to work really hard. Like, you know, none of them were in like they weren't like poor, but you know, they weren't like money wasn't just like flowing for them. You know what I mean? And that was one thing that kind of aggravated me when they put the story and things like that out. They put it out as, oh, they've come from nothing. They're from this, they're from that. So this is what they do. Like, just because they're from that area, and that's totally not that, you know what I mean? So it was just really crazy how long it took for some parents. It's like, where are these parents not concerned about where their kids are? Like, how are these kids in these places for so long? I get it, there's like no phones or social media and stuff out there, but
yeah, you got to think about the time, because I don't know if you've ever heard stories from your dad about like all the shit that they used to run free and do when it was no cell phones. It was like you just it wasn't a lot that you had to worry about. It was just like, you know, get home before the streetlights come on. Yeah. And then we worried, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know. It was just really crazy that they were there, like that whole overnight, you know, situation, and them like interrogating them and things like that. So that's just how I feel about that. And like Joe said, I think that it's still like a thing today. Like if once they have their eyes locked on you and they just want to close a case, they'll try to do whatever it is that they can before your parent or lawyer or anybody
and that's
arrives.
Exactly what they were trying to do.
And they're not supposed to do that.
That was fucked up what they did with the when he was there with his grandma and she couldn't speak English.
Yeah. And then to make the parent, first of all, that's another thing that pissed me off. Like telling the parents like, oh, maybe you should leave the room. I'm not leaving my kid nowhere with you.
Fuck that.
But
a lot of people don't know that.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people were uneducated on how the law works.
If you guys want to call in and you know, speak to us,
you have to
subject.
Open it? She's been trying to call in.
I got this.
Oh, got it. Okay. Joe said
323-900-0478.
Joe said guilty until proven innocent. Chris said Raymond and Antron.
I can't remember who Raymond was.
Day pissed me off. Raymond and Antron. Oh, okay. Oh, dads. Raymond and Antron's dads pissed him off. Michael.
Oh yeah.
Huh? What happened? Yeah. Michael said the police had lied about and arrested black man.
Yep.
Yeah, Ray and Antron's dad pissed me off the most because he was so scared to lose his job that he was willing to just let his son like do it, like just tell them whatever they want to hear, you know, and to get like mad at him because he didn't want to lie.
I was talking about this with my sisters, and they watched the interviews that, you know, the actual exonerated 5 did, and Antron was saying still he hadn't forgiven his dad for that.
Because it's like, and then it's like he put him in that mess. You know what I mean? And you feel like imagine, you see how they were showing like all of how like him and his dad had like these morning talks and all this stuff. So how you said like you think your parents are superheroes. You think once your parents show up and you'd have been so tough and this and that and they're teaching you all this other stuff that they're gonna be there to rescue you.
Yeah.
But then here you are, they say one thing to you, you punking out, you throwing chairs and you yelling at me, telling me I just need to tell them what they want to hear.
No, fuck that.
And then you don't know what to do, and you're a child. He was a child. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's very hurtful to have that type of hate and to not be able to forgive your dad, especially because it showed that like how sick and stuff he got. But nobody can understand what it is that it was like to lose all that part of all of your teenage years. He didn't get out till he was 21.
Facts. No, boom, that goes into our next question. I feel like even when they got out of jail, and they kind of went a little bit out of order with the way that they showed it. I guess they were trying to tell everyone's story, but really no, because I'm thinking about Raymond, how when he got out of jail, and that kind of like led to the question of like that I wanted to discuss of like the pain outside of them doing their jail time, but after the after effects that followed them for their lives until they were exonerated. So one of them being is like picking up from where they left off. There was a scene where Raymond kind of like, well, first of all, he went back to his house and his dad had married this lady and all of her kids was living there. And I wanted to fucking sock her. And stuff. I wanted to fucking sock her. I did not like her role in this, but. And then he went to his room, and then he kind of closed the door and saw all of his old posters. And it's like he's realizing like all the lost time that, you know.
Yeah. It's I think it really is hard. Like how I was just telling you about my cousin. Like I think it really is hard to jump back into society when you've missed the whole everything. Like they have a TV in juvie or jail or whatever, but it's not the same as being like out. Like, you can see what new music or music videos or whatever come out, but not, like...
That was interesting how they did that.
Yeah, because...
I thought that was a nice little touch to kind of paint the picture of how they were experiencing pop culture while they were in...
Yeah, because it's real. Yeah. It's real, you know? But it's still really sad, and I think it's hard to jump back in because at the end of the day, although you're going through something, life still goes on outside of you.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't appreciate, of course, was that... the stepmom was not supportive of him and his son and just kind of believing whatever the story says. You know, it just paints the picture of how easy it is for people to believe something just because news is allowed to put things out there that isn't necessarily true.
That was fucked up to me.
They don't need to. It doesn't need to be true for them to make it news.
Yeah,
and that's still today
because they were convicted of these crimes. People automatically believed it for real. You know, so that was another thing. Their reputation. Like, I know that must have been frustrating for them. It's like I already served the time. I did not do it, and all of them continued to like stand their ground and saying that they did not do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And then, you know, trying to get a job afterwards, how you're still technically a prisoner once you get out because there's still things that you have to do. What were they doing, working
at the movie theater?
Yeah, he ended up getting a job at a movie theater and things like that. And then, as you see, Raymond went on the streets because he was let go. They probably found out who he was or something and let him go. And then he went back to selling drugs, went back to jail, you know, so... And I think it just ends up being a cycle because once you're in jail, it's like you don't know what to do, and then you end up doing some dumb shit that puts you right back.
Facts. Another thing about people losing their job. Remember how the mom got let go? Eustace's mom got let go because people kept calling into her job and like talking shit, so they had to let her go. That's really fucked up. That's one of the effects that you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah, and I think laws have changed so much since then. I think by law, people aren't even allowed to do that to you.
It's a name. It's called doxing. DOX.
Yeah,
something like that.
But you can't do that. You can't do that. So, but like you said, it was a different time. It was a different time, and everybody suffered from it. Even how Raymond's uncle was like, "Oh, this is your fault that my mom feels this way because you and your son," and da da da. And it's like, but he didn't do it. Like,
yeah,
you know,
it's just really fucked up that like one decision that they had to go to a park, and Raymond's dad was regretting that too. Like he told him like, go to the park.
Go to the park instead of hanging out on the corner.
thinking that he was going to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
So, yeah, it's just it's crazy. And I think that there needs to be more, you know, I mean, they have like halfway houses and stuff now. Like, there's way more stuff now, like, to help you. They have halfway houses. They help you get jobs, all that other stuff. And there's actually places that let you be hired as felons, but it's just crazy because it's so limited. And so if somebody else gets out, you need a job too. Like he said, like, you can't work with him. You can't even be on the same shift with him.
I did not know that. Yeah, I did not know that.
So it's just wild. Like, you're still a prisoner even though you're not in an actual
So it's like only
facility.
One felon at the workplace at a time.
No, but you can't be on the same shift as them. But they're not gonna have a whole bunch of shifts with felons on every shift. Right. And then it's because he was technically registered as a sex offender. Now he can't even be somewhere where it's like kids doing stuff and all that. So it's just like, you know, it's just it's a whole big thing. It's really sad. Yeah, it's really sad. But I think some laws, not all, but some laws have made it a little bit easier for people to get things expunged and thrown out, and been able to like find jobs and stuff like that, and get their records clean and stuff like that. But I think it's really hard. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, how do you think you would feel? It's like if you went to jail and then you had to get out
and start your life over.
Start your life over in the comments.
And you went in when you were like 15, and it's like, you don't know how to talk to girls. You don't know how to like be a man.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up.
It is.
What was the most heartbreaking parts of the series for you?
I think with oh my gosh, it was so many. I think the one that was really a tearjerker for me was what's his name? Oh my God, why am I having a brain fart right now?
The baby,
the one that served the longest time, the oldest one.
Oh yeah.
What is his name? Corey. That I cried the most when they told his story.
Nigga, I was crying. First of all, shout out to Jarrell Jerome.
Yes.
He did a good job. Amazing actor.
He did a very good job.
I watched Moonlight. He did a good job.
You notice he was the only one they didn't change as an adult because he was already like older, but they just made him look younger.
Fucking range. Yeah. They did a great job of making him look young and old. Yeah. He did a phenomenal job with that role.
So I think his story was the most emotional for me, mainly because he wasn't even on the list of boys, and he went to look after his
this list.
So basically, from the original people that they picked up, he was never originally in the precinct with when the police officer initially picked up all the boys and they had him in the classroom setting. He wasn't there.
Right.
So they had a list from those boys, and those are the boys that they went to pick back up. Oh,
and they made them name all the people that were there at the park.
Yes.
Okay, I think I missed that.
So Corey's name wasn't listed though. I don't think he was just with Yusuf. And he went to, and that shows too how police are like, oh, do you want to go with your friend to look after him? Like, you know, like he was plotting on him. It was like, I don't know. It was just really sad. And he went, he was so concerned about Yusuf's mom, worried about him not looking after him, you know, and he went with his friend literally just to look after him. Yusuf leaves him because he's been in there for hours. Corey falls asleep. Their stories is falling apart, and then they just wake him up and start beating him up and make him say whatever. And then the thing that made me sad too is because clearly he has some type of learning disability, and which is why he was skipping school. And then of course later I found out why it didn't really matter if he was skipping school, because his mom was selling drugs at the house. Yeah, you know,
his mom was kind of trash.
Yeah.
She was kind of trash.
Yeah. I think, so it was just like that made me feel really bad. I felt like they used that to their advantage. Like they could see that something was wrong, and they just kind of, I could tell like how his speech, and then the fact that he didn't know what certain things meant, so they had to like coerce him to say exactly what they were telling him to say, you know. And then the fact that although he really wanted to go home, every single time they brought him to do his parole, he was like, no, because I didn't do it.
Respect for that. Respect, because he could have easily been like, okay, I did it.
Yeah, and he was like, no.
And I'm so glad he didn't. But anyways, I think a lot of people would agree that his
whoa,
the white people they're trying to stop me. I think a lot of people would agree that his story is the most heartbreaking because of the fact that he was not even at the park. He just, you know,
he was at the park.
Okay, sorry, he was at the park, but he ended up coming. You know, and the fact that all of the bad luck that he went through because he kept trying to get I think the first jail that he was at Rikers, which is fucked up. He was so young, you know. He was getting his ass beat there, and he tried to transfer, and he ended up like even way further out.
Yeah,
you know. So, and just the fact of, you know, Yusuf not even being able to write him, or, you know, Yusuf's mom preventing that.
Yeah, well, technically they're not supposed to talk to each other.
But she wasn't trying to do. Well, I guess I could.
I feel like even if it was possible, she wouldn't have let him. But
and
technically,
then,
they're not supposed to.
Right. And then him having to go through all of that in jail, and then experiencing. I think we all know, like, solitary confinement is like fucked up. It really fucks you up in the head.
Yeah.
And for the fact that he had to choose that because he kept getting beat up by these people that thought he was a sex offender.
Yeah.
You know?
Not even that. It was just like it really shows you how how guards are in jails. I hear stories all the time about like how they are and stuff like that, like how they're pretty much like opportunists and don't give a fuck about you at all. Like they're supposed to be there to, you know, maintain and kind of like protect you while you're in jail, and they don't do that. And just the fact that he was like, oh, well, I had a nice welcoming party for you, like, you know,
that was so fucked up.
All that other stuff. They were like fucking stabbing him.
Yeah.
Like he could have died, and he was like, yeah, I just want you to know, like, you know, ain't no stars in here. Nobody ever said he was a star. Like that shows that your guards got mental fucked up, like, stability in their head.
It's
like
sick. It's really sick. I mean, I didn't really know about that type of stuff until I know it's you know, false stories, but Orange is the New Black of like the whole jail culture and like
it's real.
Like that.
It's real.
That is so wild. And then the one that was like, yeah, you know, let me know if it's anything you could do for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's all they do. Like that's
for
their
a damn
job.
chocolate bar. I don't understand that.
I don't know, but that's just how it is. And then some people have to use all their money on their books to, you know, give it to other people just so that they don't get beat up and all that other stuff. So it was just really sad. But his was definitely the saddest story to me, and I just thought it was crazy how he ended up being in the same jail as the person that actually did the crime.
Right. That is wild.
And because that guy found Christ or Jesus or whoever, I don't know who he converted to,
right?
But because he was trying to make peace with himself, that's what made him confess, you know, to everything.
I mean, it's great that he did.
But it's just crazy that I think sometimes I just wonder like what the mental like what struggles they still go through mentally, and I honestly think that Corey probably has the most therapy that he probably needs to go to, like as far as experiences. Everyone else was in juvie. He did I think he did 11 and a half years. Everyone else did juvie, and they were like Kevin did 5.5. Everyone else did 6 or 7 years, but he did 11 and a half in the worst prison, like adult worst fucking prisons.
Bro, when fucking that, look, I'm about to cry right now, but that scene when they went to tell him that his brother died, that was like sick. That was so heartbreaking when he was like, when the guy was like, oh, we're here for you,
because he had just had that mental breakdown, like inside of solitary confinement, where he was talking to himself, but seeing him.
And then the guy was like, oh, we're here for you, and he's like, you here for me? Like, what do you mean you here for me? Like, I'm getting my ass beat every day. I gotta be in solitary confinement. And then I don't know, that part just made me think of like black men as a whole.
Why are you trying to laugh to keep from crying?
Because I am. Because it just, I don't know, that scene fucked me up because it made me think of black men as a whole. Because you saying like, we here for you, but it's fucking fake. Like,
yeah, it is.
Because that's how the world feels about black men. It's like, for you to be in such a fucked up circumstance for some shit that you didn't do just because you're black, and because that police department felt like, oh, we're gonna get pressure from the public to solve this crime, let's just round up whoever the fuck, and you like ruin someone's life, and now
they don't care.
This person never got a chance to see their older brother again. And pretty much their older brother was the only person that like talked to them and made them feel like they were worth something.
Yeah. And so, and that was like really heartfelt too, because it shows that there are guards that kind of look out for people too. Like, although he was trying, like, he could have restrained him, because you know that most guards would have been like, "Oh, you're resisting, you're trying to fight me," and he was just like hugging him like super like tight, you know. And I think he knew that something was wrong with him. He brought him books. He taught him how to play different card games and stuff like that. It was like yeah, like, you know, Mr. T Chia Pet.
I was laughing at that because he was like, you don't know Chia Pets.
But no, it was just it was definitely an emotional roller coaster. But I like that they did that, because it shows that not all white people think a certain way about black boys or black men. It's definitely a taught thing.
And those are the type of people that should be in these correctional facilities.
Yeah, but it should also encourage those that are privileged to speak up and don't think like, oh, because it's not me, I don't have to say anything. But it's very important for you to say something and to stand up and be a part of that. Just like the freaking prosecutor who, you know, had to prosecute the boys or whatever. She knew that it was wrong. And she knew that there was other hair? Yes, and she knew that there was other evidence.
She was like, I need, like, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
But she kept moving.
And then, but she let that stupid white bitch tell her that this was like a huge case for her. Yeah. Like, you know, but she knew it was wrong. And this is what I'm saying.
Where
it's
them
like,
niggas at? Lock them niggas up.
That's what I'm saying. She should be wrong because she withheld information. She knew that there was semen in a sock that belonged to somebody, and the case could have been solved then and there. But she decided to just kind of surpass that and move along that and, you know, do all this other stuff. So I feel like those people should suffer the consequences too. Like, I know that this lady, they've taken her books off the shelf and she don't have her job or whatever no more. I don't feel sorry for the bitch, but I'm just saying, like,
send that hoe to jail.
It's like,
period.
It's like that the other lady, the prosecutor who knew that it was wrong, should have to suffer the consequences too. Like, everyone that had a part in that, the officers, I don't give a fuck how old they are, all of them, they all need to go to jail. They all need to go to jail, and they need to make her pay money out of her pocket to all 5 of them too. Fuck the state money, her money that she made off them books and all the other people that she probably made deals with, and the judge who probably gets money off of everybody he sends to Rikers Island. Because what were they calling his his name? They called his courtroom his last name, and they call it the island because he sends everybody to Rikers. He needs to go to jail too, because I'm pretty sure it's dirty shit that goes on. Judges make deals with people who own prisons, and that's who they send all their people to in prison, and they get a percentage off that shit. It's all a business. It's all a business, and that's basically what she was saying too. Like, although even if they didn't do this, they did something. Like, yeah, but they didn't do this. Like, and that's the argument that people try to do in court. Like, even if they didn't do this, they did something. But it's like, no, but we're talking about this specific case. Yes. This bitch was raped. Right. Not to call her a bitch, but this woman was raped, and you need to find out who did it. And you don't even care about getting her justice. You saying that you do, but you don't care about getting her justice because you're not getting her justice when you're just accusing the first people you grab.
That wasn't even like her part in the film wasn't even like highlighted much, because that's not what they cared about. They cared about, oh shit, our unit is gonna look bad to the public because it's been all these rapes, so we got to pin this on somebody. Oh, round up all the black kids. That was at the park. Right.
So I don't know. It's just it's really really crazy. Wow. To me. That happened, but that was the most emotional for me. I felt like that. I felt really bad for him, the fact that they used him and he was the oldest. And then even when he had that breakdown in court, he was like, I don't read that well, I don't know. And they were like, well, is that your signature? And he's like, yeah, but I don't know what it says, like I didn't write it, you know. And it's like for the jury and the judge to not realize, like, how could he have done something, and how did you allow him to sign something that he cannot read? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just really crazy, but it shows how they really thought about us, low key.
So there were some quotes in the film that really stood out to me, and I wanted to know what you guys thought about it. So one of them is kind of like a monologue part, and they're saying, "Oh, they say boys will be boys, but when they say boys, they're not talking about us."
That's so true.
That hit heavy.
That's so true.
That hit heavy. Because,
I watched it with Travis, and he was like, "Damn, like that's true."
Because black boys and girls are not given the freedom of. They're not given the benefit of a doubt of like being innocent.
Mm-hmm.
They're automatically saw as like. They're automatically seen as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And it just makes me think of what's that kid's name that had the toy gun? He looked like a fucking baby.
His name was Tamir.
Yeah. I don't know, shit like that. It's just like, you know, boys will be boys, but that just does not apply to black men.
Yeah.
You have to be a saint. And even if you are a saint, you still gonna be.
There's been white boys caught on tape raping girls and stuff, and they'll say, "Oh, well, boys will be boys. They'll never do it again." You have to understand the stresses of going to a preparatory school and all that. You gotta
understand the stresses of fucking growing up in the hood. How about that?
Right? Like, how is it stress going to a preparatory school? Like, you know, so it's just crazy that things like that. But let it be a black gang rape. Just like how Donald Trump back in the day was on TV talking about give those children the death penalty. They're children.
What the fuck?
For something that
that's what I didn't even understand. Like, what was his?
He always speaking on something. He always speaking on something.
Right.
For no reason. Like, he just wants to feel important. But it's just like think about all the people who agreed with him. You know what I mean?
Imagine if they would have got the death penalty.
Crazy.
It would have been a life gone for what?
Yeah.
And the fact that like this is not this is the story that she's highlighting, but imagine how much this shit happens.
Yeah, it happens really a lot. There's a few people that they were talking about who they're actually dead and gone now, and they later find out that they were innocent. But what does it matter now? Why even talk about it? They're dead now. Mm-hmm. They either killed themselves, or you killed them, or they just died in prison, got sick, or whatever. But they were never guilty. And now it's like all these cases that are like coming up where, oh, this person was actually innocent. And it's like, you're clearing their name. I'm not going to celebrate that shit. They didn't even get to live their life and they died in jail or prison. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
These people got money. I haven't seen the interviews, but I heard about it. Like these people, you know, how they got money from the state or whatever.
They got 41 million.
Nothing can replace time.
Like, or your mental.
Time is more valuable. Like the money, yeah, that's fine. But the years that you missed out on life, one of them, like their mom died while they were in jail. It's like,
really? I didn't know that.
No, one of them was like, oh, I can't buy a pancreas like for my mom, like she died or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know if they highlighted that in the movie, but I heard he was saying that in an interview. Cause
it's
like, what does that money mean when your life is stolen?
Yeah, nothing. Because you have to think about the mental that you still went through, and then everything that you went through afterwards too. Like it's still like a thing, you know. So I don't know. It's just that was really crazy, but it's like certain universal quotes and things like that are said is definitely not pertaining to us.
It's not.
So
nope, that's facts. That I don't know. That line hit me hard. And then also when Corey was in solitary confinement and he was like, "I like when you call me kid." I thought that was interesting because it was almost like he wanted that innocence back of feeling like just a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the fact that he like imagined like staying with her instead of leaving. The
okay,
joint.
So Joe said that he never went to the park.
Oh, maybe that was true.
We need to fact check that. I'm not really sure.
I remember him leaving the actual like restaurant, or maybe he walked somewhere else. Maybe I wasn't fully paying attention at that part, but he did leave the girl though.
I think that part was like a flashback of what could have happened if he would have stayed with the girl instead of going with them to the park.
That was a flashback, but but I know that I don't know. I thought he went to the park. I'll have to watch it again. I thought he went to the park though, because she was like, for real, she was mad that he left and went with.
You wasn't
Yusuf.
paying attention to that part.
Oh, okay.
He didn't leave. Was that in the first episode?
Wherever Yusuf came to the window where he was eating chicken, he said, "Come on," and he left. He left out the restaurant.
Okay, I don't know.
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Joe might be right, but I'll have to watch it again. Either way, he wasn't on the list to get picked up. He went to look after his friend, and they used him to try to make him the glue.
Fucked up.
It is. But the last thing I was speaking on was Donald Trump. So he was actually one of my trending topics I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
So this fool was doing an interview today, and let me find it so I can kind of play it for you guys to hear. A woman asked him, what do you think about, are you going to apologize to the men for, like, you know, everything that you said or whatever. And he gave some bogus ass fucking answer. It pissed me off because he's such a fucking idiot. Let me find it.
I can't believe he's a fucking president. That kills me. Like,
doesn't it piss you off? Because it's just like, okay, like this is why everybody takes us as a fucking joke. This is exactly why. Oh shoot, why can't I find it? No, I sent it to somebody. I didn't send it to you. Let me see.
You be sending me a lot of stuff.
I know. I'm sorry.
Ew, Shayna, delete this, please.
What? What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna find it. What it was basically was like the reporter asked him like, "Hey, are you going to apologize for what you said?" Here it is. Turn down the music just a little bit, Moni. I'm gonna play it on here. Let me turn it up. First of all, let me do this first. Okay.
April. Mr. President, will you apologize to Central Park 5? They've been exonerated. There have been videos and movies shown about the case, and you came out with a full-page ad saying that they should die. They're facing a death penalty. Why do you bring that question up now? It's an interesting time to bring it up. You have people on both sides of that. They admitted their guilt. If you look at Linda Fairstein and if you look at some of the prosecutors, they think that the city should never have settled that case.
Okay, but
so
we'll
leave it at that.
He got too much pride to even be a fucking human and be like, I apologize for saying some fucked up shit about
for saying kids. That they should get the death penalty and they've now been exonerated and not guilty. And you're talking about, well, they admitted guilt. What?
No, he's talking about the prosecutors admitted guilt.
Yeah, but so the fuck what? Like,
so we asking you,
are you going to apologize? And then they felt like the city should have never settled. Like, shut up. Please shut the fuck up. Like,
shut the fuck up.
I want somebody to throw a shoe at him, but I want him to not be able to dodge it as well as George Bush did. Like, I just want everybody to fuck him up.
I can't say that. Because you could go to jail.
But no, it's just really crazy how, like, you know, he's always had his hand in something, and it's just like for him to just say it, like, people were really like not even looking at them as babies. They were looking at them as like animals because that's how the news painted them. That's how Linda Fairstein painted them and the prosecutor painted them. And it was like no one's felt any sympathy except for the black community because everybody else just really looked at them as animals.
Yep.
They were 13 to 16 years old.
Like, I don't know. Just imagine your 13-year-old self.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked up.
You know the other part that made me upset? When they kept saying, oh, is that when the lady scratched your face? Scratched? His whole fucking face is swollen.
I was confused.
How did she get... Like, that's not a scratch. That's not a scratch.
Right. Michael said, do you guys think another situation like this can occur today? Somebody's calling.
Oh.
Hello.
Turn the music down and then turn that up because I can't even hear them.
Hold on, caller. 1 second, please.
1 second, please.
Hello?
What is that voice you're doing? Hello, who's calling?
Hey, y'all. It's Crazy Maria in the house.
Hi.
Crazy Maria.
Happy birthday, Mona.
Thank you.
She's so crazy.
Thank you.
I say happy birthday.
What?
To you.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, she's singing a black version too. Hey.
Hey.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
We gotta clap in the mic.
Happy birthday to you.
What?
You know I love you.
Oh,
that's so
yay.
sweet. Thank you, Crazy Maria. You the best.
Okay. So first of all, I don't
Mhm.
even know why anything that pendejo says that comes out of his fucking mouth like really amazes you. Like we all know Donald Trump is a stupid motherfucker and he don't know what the fuck he's saying.
Right.
Right.
First of all,
All
when
facts.
have you ever seen a president to be on Twitter and talking about what our next move is going to be?
Right.
Point
Right.
blank. So you already know automatically he is totally not presidential material, and he is not my president. And I mean, hopefully, people will wake up and vote this time around and go on ahead and vote for what's right. Not that we have or that I have seen anything new or good that should be voted for coming up
Mhm.
with the election, but
Mhm.
I mean, we all have to vote.
Right.
Right.
Secondly, I do want to talk about. I haven't watched these episodes, and last night I was hanging out with Kosi at my parents' house,
Mhm.
and we were gonna watch the episodes. And because my daughter Jelly wanted to watch something happy and fun, we had to watch some YouTube channel stuff. But let me tell you, there are so many issues that we have not heard of. This is a documentary, so we are able to see this, but there are so many things that we have not heard of that have happened back in the 70s and the 80s where
Man.
people were not educated. We were not educated to our rights. We just knew that the police was right, and whatever they did, we had to abide by.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
the fear of being like just black and brown, coming from undocumented parents, you
Mhm.
just followed the rules.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was really, really hard and sad. Now, knowing how social media, people actually put police, head to head. Why are you pulling me over? And then police get mad because stuff is really out of the ordinary for them,
Right.
and that is why so much police brutality is really being seen now because they're not gonna come down. And now that we are much educated, and like we're really putting them to the test and putting them to like the why. Why are you pulling me over? Why are you stopping me? Why do you want to check my car? Why do
Right.
you want to look inside my car? And they put up a fight, and that's why a lot of things are happening.
Mhm.
There have been many, many things that have happened in the past. I just finished reading a book. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's called The Sun Does Shine. And it's
Mhm.
about this gentleman that was tried for murder
Mhm.
on this, I'm not sure if it was a white man or a white woman that was murdered down south. And he did damn near 40 years and seen so many people go on the death penalty before he was able to get out
Wow.
because his
Damn.
family, they scraped money wherever they could and got him out. But
Mhm.
it wasn't until Rodney King, I mean, I'm sure that other things had happened, but it wasn't until Rodney King that people really did see police brutality and that people
Yeah.
really did see the black and brown come together, even though we didn't do it right and there was so many rioting and so much craziness happening. But it wasn't until then, I feel, in my era, I'm a 77 year baby. It
Mhm.
wasn't until my era that actually happened, that everything was starting for me to be able to see that come to light.
Right.
You got the Rampart division that was like, it was actually Latino people that were stealing drugs from the drug lords or whoever, the people that were selling drugs and were, selling them on the side. And then not only that, but you guys also touched a good piece on, it's always the African American people that, if they raped or if they did wrong and they got reprimanded for it. But I don't know if there were two instances when I was growing up, when I was a teenager. One, I'm not sure which city it was, that it was one of the sons of somebody who worked under the police station,
Mhm.
and he covered it up. They went to court, and he was able to get all these rich lawyers and fight for him. They gang raped this white young lady. It was
Mhm.
Wow.
about 3 or 4 kids. They went to a party. They gang raped her. She was like put on the stand, and they put her out to look like she looked for it, like she wanted to get raped, like she was going
What
for
the
these
fuck?
boys.
Wow.
Wow.
And and it's sad because I have nothing but girls. I have 3 girls,
Right.
Mhm.
and if I had boys, like now, what I know as a older woman, I mean, when I tell you, you guys had mentioned it earlier, I would tell them, don't say nothing. You keep quiet until I get there. You proven innocent until proven guilty. And those are the things that was not taught to these young people back in the 70s and the 80s.
Right.
As long as they were able to get off, yeah, they might have done, like, some mischievous stuff, but not to the extent of what they were tried for.
Right.
But as long as they were let go, they would, like, give up whatever information they would play them to give up.
Right.
Whether it was like, oh, your friend already told on you, so you might as well tell the truth.
That's so funny.
And they would separate them. I don't know which one of you guys said, but they would separate them, and they would make them think that they were going against each other. And guess what? When court came, they would give up each one of their statements.
Right. And I was telling Moni that was the sad part, because as all of that was going on, I later realized that although they were all in the park, none of the 5 were even the people that were beating up the biker or anything. They were just there with the large group of kids.
And they didn't know each other.
Right.
And then even all 5 of them, except for the 2, Yusuf and Corey. Yusuf and Corey are the only 2 that actually knew each other. But all the rest of them didn't even know each other. So they lied on one another just because that's what they were told to do, and didn't even know who they were. Like that was a very touching moment too. Like when they all put them in the same jail cell together, they put Corey separate, but they put all of them together. And then it was just kind of like, oh, who are you? Oh, dang, I lied on you, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and then that's when they realized, like, nobody really knew what was what. It was just, you just had to say, and they were like, oh, so is that where she, and he was still believing it. He's like, oh, that's where the lady scratched you. He's like, I don't know no lady. Like, so that was really sad.
I haven't watched the thing, but now you guys making me want to go back and watch it. But let me tell you, when I was about maybe I say 18. I was going through some personal things, and I stole a car. I did a GTA. And we ended up getting caught. When we got caught, when I tell you, the police officer treated me like I was just the scum of the earth. He dragged me down the floor. And I was like giving all kind of like, doing whatever he told me. But when he threw me in the cop car and he threw my friend in the same cop car as me, they had an actual recorder listening to our every conversation. And then after, like, one of us saw the recorder, so we were like, just playing the part and saying whatever we had to say to make sure that, none of us got affiliated. But after the fact, they still sat there and tried to play us against each other and told us that one said this and the other one said this and who is this, and, try to play the part. And luckily, because we had seen the recorder, nobody gave up no information. So I'm just saying, if you don't know the system, which I believe that back then, because the minority, that we were really dominated, and it was really, really like the hatred was really much more real back then.
Yeah.
We would have probably got eaten alive. And it is true. Like, once you're in the system, you continue to be in the system because that's all you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all you feel safe to.
Yep.
Especially from such a young age. So.
Yes. And I appreciate you ladies for shining a light on this because, I know you girls have young listeners and listeners that have kids and it's something that is real. And it's recycled, and it's still happening. Yeah. Even though we are 10 years from that point when it probably happened, because I don't know when that actually happened.
It was in 89.
But I'm talking about personally
89.
from when I was a young teenager, it is still happening. It's so sad that the man that is called the president of our country is for that. Is really for that. So I am really telling everybody, if you know anybody that's 18 and over, educate them on knowing who is running for our country and doing the right thing, voting for the right person that you feel should be leading your country.
Right.
Facts.
I agree. I definitely agree. Thanks so much, Maria, for calling in. We really appreciate you.
I love you, girls. I had to call in and say happy birthday to Moni.
Thank you, girl.
Love you, too.
Moni, let me know what you're doing, and we're going to come out and celebrate.
Hey, come out to the day party on Saturday. Or, I don't know what the fuck.
We'll hit you up. We'll tell you everything we doing this weekend.
Yeah.
Moni, I'm gonna need you to get it together, girl.
Right.
Look, it's out of my hands. It's above me.
It's above me.
Okay, well, whoever got it in their hands, make sure that they let everybody know so we go out there.
I got you,
Okay,
Maria.
for
I'm gonna
sure.
send you all the details.
For sure.
Love you, girls.
Love
Love
you
you
too.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
I love
Yeah.
her.
No. Shout out to Maria from Ladies Night
Yes.
radio show on Fridays at 7:30. They get it popping. It's a party in here every
It
Friday.
is every Friday. But yeah. So just to kind of start wrapping things up a little bit. I really think that it's important for like Maria was saying, for parents to teach their children how to speak to police officers. I think I was just telling you before we went on air, the video that I saw on social media, Moni, where these teenage kids, I don't know if I was no, I wasn't telling you. I was talking to Jackie before you got here. But there were these teenage boys, right? Tall teenage boys. And I'm not sure what happened beforehand, but the police officers were not being aggressive with them. It looked like they were trying to ask them questions, and they were like, "Fuck you, what the fuck you gonna do? I'll go off on you right now, like square up, like all this other stuff."
Talking to the police like that?
Yes, and these are and it makes me upset because parents already have to worry about having their black children when they're going out with their friends and being out and getting in cars and going to parties and all this other stuff. But do you not teach your children how to talk to police officers? I'm not saying you got to be no punk or no bitch or whatever it is that everybody has all this pride or whatever, but I get it. There have been a lot of people that have been killed even though they were cooperating with police officers, but you're making it worse by not cooperating. And no child should even be talking to an officer like that. These are black officers, just by the way. Not that it matters, but either way, if an officer is asking you to do something, if you didn't do anything wrong, why be so irate and aggressive? I feel like most of the time that they're doing stuff now is like for clout. Like they know their friends are recording, they want to act stupid and do all this other stuff.
No,
now, if that cop would have beat your ass,
situation.
right? If that cop would have beat your ass or shot you, it wasn't gonna be no justice that needed to be served because you were disrespecting them.
Yeah,
you were disrespecting them, and I think that a lot of it is, like Maria's saying, a lot of parents now have the responsibility to teach their children, you do not speak to any police officer, investigator, whatever, until I am present, period. Don't you sign nothing. Don't you say nothing. They can't do anything to you. And on top of that, you do not disrespect officers. If you already know that you have a target on your back, don't do shit to cause attention to yourself, and do not make it worse by resisting and disrespecting and doing all this other stuff. There's no need for you to do that.
Yeah.
Again,
We don't want to take away from the people that actually do cooperate and they still get fucked up shit done to them. Like
exactly.
But yeah, for sure.
But the best thing that you can do when you're already in the situation is to cooperate. And and it sucks. It sucks because white people don't have to have this conversation with their children. They know that their children are going to be safe regardless. They do not have to have this conversation with them.
Of a doubt. That's
they
what
are.
It is.
They are. Black children need to be told, don't you blink the fucking wrong way. Don't you move. Don't you sneeze. Don't you do nothing. Don't do anything. Don't even turn off your car when you get pulled over. Just sit your ass there, put your hands either out the window or on the steering wheel, and do not move. And it's sad. It's sad that we have to live like that, and that they have to be taught that at a very young age. At that, just like how you just mentioned, a little boy, he's in a park playing with his water gun or a little fake gun, and they shot and killed him. A child, a baby,
a little real baby, like. It's wild.
And it happens every day. We don't hear about it.
We don't. But we only hear about these major publicized stories. There is countless names and hashtags of people that we don't hear about. So it's really fucked up. And like, it's like Andre 3000 said it in a song. I can't remember the exact line, but it's like, it's sad that now you see more, like you see black men getting killed and it's not even a big issue no more. It's like, you can't keep up with the hashtags. You can't keep up because it's happening so much. Yeah. And it's really fucked up. Yeah. Before we wrap it up though, I did want to ask, what do you think the title means? Because I thought it was an interesting title for the series. When they see
for
us.
me, I just exactly what it says. When they see us, it's like they are scared. And for some odd reason, white people seem to think that we're at an advantage. Donald Trump was actually saying that in the documentary, or not in the documentary, but in the series. He was saying that, like, how they don't, he called us a black. That's what the fuck this dumbass nigga said. A black. That we have advantages. And that's really, it's crazy that white people have it all and they still think that black people are at an advantage. That's it that I can't, my brain can't even wrap around that.
We had an advantage at certain stuff, but not like nice skin.
But what I'm saying is that's not even what it's like they're just so greedy that you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know, but I think when the title, when they see us, it's just kind of like, I can't really put it into words, but I just feel like they don't think of us as, when they see us, they just see, you know, black. When they see us, they just see animal. When they see us, they just see crime, poverty, poor. Like, they just think of us as nothing.
I considered it to have a double meaning. So exactly what you just mentioned of, like, when they see us, this is how they see us as black boys, you know? And then also I thought it was the opposite of, like, when they see us, like, wait till they see us. Like, when they see our real story, they gonna wild out, you know?
Right.
That's what I thought it meant also.
So, but in watching that series, although it was very sad, at the same time, with talking about Juneteenth, and, you know, with everyone celebrating, you know, blackness and black history and things like that during Juneteenth. Yeah. It just really, although it's a lot of fucked up shit that happens to us, it just really makes me happy about how incredible black people are. Facts. There are a lot of communities who I would say are brainwashed and uneducated and kind of like stuck in a certain mental because of how they were raised or because of situations they've been put in, or you know, them not having the same opportunities as others. But I just feel like one day I definitely want black people to get back to how we were, and I feel like it's slowly getting there.
I feel like we're moving closer to that.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not sure if
a new black renaissance.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we discussed it on this show or not, but it's been making me so happy. Like, for instance, it was in LA. These cops were like basically like antagonizing, but kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh. Like patronizing these black people that weren't even doing anything. They were trying to park in a parking spot, but the cop pulls up right behind them so where they can't park in the parking spot. And the whole hood comes out. They all standing on the sidewalk looking at the cops like, oh, so what y'all doing or whatever. And the cop trying to call for backup and got his hand on his gun. And one of the dudes from the hood was like, oh, what you grabbing your gun for? What you calling for backup for? He's like, oh, because you're walking up on me. He's like, well, do shit by the book then. Like, you know, like yelling at them. And the cops ended up leaving and didn't even like bother him anymore, you know? And I feel like it's important, like, for black people to start doing that more. You know, there was the incident in Memphis that just happened. They killed this young boy. They put him in handcuffs, and all of the stories and the reports are saying after he was handcuffed, he was shot 20 times, he was killed, and then after they killed him, they snapped his neck. And the whole community there in Memphis came out. I'm not gonna say that it was right for what they did to the police officers and or the reporter, but I'm just gonna say a lot of police officers got their ass whooped by people of the community. And police cars and things like that got vandalized because this is something that they witnessed, and people are getting tired. Black people are getting tired. The reporter just happened to be there, you know, trying to do his job, and he got beat up and trampled too. He shouldn't have been there, but you know, people get tired. I think since police officers went to the hospital, and a lot of them were injured as well. I think like 13 to 15 of them have been injured. Now, I'm not supporting you know, abuse or violence to police officers, but I'm just saying things like this will happen when people witness this more and more. Now, what can you possibly think that boy could have done to get shot 20 times after being handcuffed? He's not a threat to you. And you snapped his neck afterwards. He was already dead. Like, I don't understand. You know? So with all of that, it just I just want us to get back to where we are. I want Black people to celebrate who they are every day, not just Juneteenth, not just for the month of February. I need you to understand that you are literally Black all the time, and don't think just because you know somebody or because you came up on some money or you're in a certain space that you're not just Black. You still a nigga. You always gonna be a nigga, period.
And you should feel proud to be Black.
And you should feel proud to be Black. You should feel proud to be Black, and you need to know that everything you do speaks for all of us. And it's the unfortunate truth.
A lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. It is a lot of pressure, but I think about that too when I'm at work. There's a lot of things that I may want to say or do, and although I speak my mind a lot at work, I have to make sure that I do it in an educated and professional way, so that they
or
don't think
you
automatically
are going to be labeled
as the angry Black woman,
yes.
or they're going to think that every Black girl behind me is going to be like how I was. Like I leave the mark for other Black people to come in behind me,
yeah.
and it is a tough responsibility to hold. But I feel like there's never been anything that Black people have not overcome. Period.
And that's what makes me so
they're
fucking
trying
proud.
They're trying to kill us off. And
yeah.
they're trying to make us extinct, but at the end of the day, white people are becoming extinct.
If you don't know what Juneteenth is, it's the celebration of the abolition of slavery, which is, June 19th. Okay?
You're so silly. But
yeah,
I just, and for all minorities too, just, I know we're talking specifically Black, but when I say Black, I mean like all minorities, like blacks and browns.
Okay. When you say Black, you mean Black people, but when you say minorities, you mean Black and brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure, like, I'm not, like, I'm proud of, I want to see everyone that had things taken from them.
I want to see them fucking win.
Yes.
I was so happy when they came out with that Crazy Rich Asians movie, because it's like, yes, y'all deserve to have fucking starring roles where you not the fucking math genius friend or you not the joke. Yes, y'all deserve to be the beautiful woman. Y'all deserve to be the handsome man. Yes, Asians, come through.
And I just want to, I want to see more of that in all the communities. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that have been, taken from us as Black people. There's been a lot of things taken from, I guess you would say, Latino or Latinas, Hispanics. I feel like a lot of stuff has been taken from them. Even now, when you talk about, there's been a topic of slavery. Some guy was talking something about slavery. I have to read more into it because I don't want to be uneducated about it. But it got brought up in some type of political debate. And it's crazy because it's kind of still going on right now. Like when you think about all those children from Mexico who are still in cages right now, treated like animals, and how many have died that we don't hear about. Like I literally have to look it up and search about it to see what's going on. And there's a lot of children that have died in those camps.
We can't end this episode without talking about Sudan.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. I'm not that familiar with it, and unfortunately I have to go the extra mile to educate myself about it because it's not being like plastered all over the media like the same. And I know I hate to compare tragedies and be like, oh, why do y'all care about this and not this? But it's just like as much coverage as that building got, the museum that got burnt down, and why
this is gonna sound really bad, but I didn't give a fuck about that.
I didn't give a fuck about it. It kind of bothered me that people. I care about art. I really do. I really care about art. I love going to the museum and all of that. But it was just like, I don't know. It kind of made me upset that people care. I think it was around the time that Nipsey Hussle died too.
Yeah, so and the fact that they raised all this money.
It made me like frustrated that like you guys care so much about this historic building, but you don't have the same energy when fucking people are dying.
Right.
When people are dying,
one of my friends actually posted a picture that came out about with the things that were going on with Sudan, and it literally brought tears to my eyes. You just see a whole bunch of Black men and women dead, like just everywhere, and they're shoveling them into the river, like just putting them into the river
as if they're nothing.
And this is government killing them. Like it's not like
this is
all because they want to have a democracy.
Yeah, that is sick.
It is.
That's very sick.
It is, but they don't care because it's Africans, so they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care.
They feel like, oh, that's what happens in these countries.
Now, if it was some white people being killed in South Africa,
if this was fucking Paris,
yeah,
niggas would have hashtags and logos and T-shirts made and fucking marathons organized and all of that.
Yeah,
but guess what?
So,
it's Black
for
people.
real, all prayers to Sudan. It's crazy how you don't realize how other places are when it comes to leadership, and that government can really just do this shit to you, and it don't matter.
Yeah,
it don't matter.
That's facts.
So prayers for sure to Sudan. That shit's really crazy.
Can we end this on a little bit of a lighter note?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about being Black?
Shit, everything. I feel like my favorite thing about being Black is just the fact that I'm so adaptable.
Yeah.
I adapt to my environment. I can adapt to
code switching.
I can literally adapt into any environment. I love that I can be creative with anything that I choose to do, whether it be my style, my hair. I love my skin.
We create the fucking culture, and that's fact. Because you know what? When we was at the festival, what was everybody dressing like?
First of all, I saw a white girl in a fucking in African attire.
It's really
she had
annoying to see.
Dashiki on.
Hey, look, maybe she went to Africa for her.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't offended by it.
From South Africa.
I wasn't offended by it, but it's just crazy how like everybody was really like dressed like us, and there wasn't any like, I mean, minus Mac Ayers, but everybody else is Black.
Yeah.
Like everybody was.
Mac Ayers. He was the only white performer at that whole festival.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. I love Mac Ayers.
Yeah. But it's just that's my favorite thing about being Black. Like I love everything about being Black. I've never not loved being Black. I think that there are some moments where I have been
You sounded like Tina Knowles on the Solange album.
Oh.
I always love being Black.
I think that there's maybe been some times where I felt frustrated at the fact that I do have so much pressure because everything that I do speaks for everyone when it comes to us. But at the end of the day, it makes me feel powerful in the same way as like I have that much power to where I speak for all of my people. So it's like, although you try to make me seem like nothing, I'm everything.
Everything. That's the thing. Like, you cannot fucking bury us. You cannot fucking defeat us. Because guess what? In the same country where they brought slaves over here, guess who is always going to be the president? Barack Obama, my nigga. Gang.
Oh, my God.
Nah, but my favorite thing about being Black, I love the family culture. I love kind of like when you're in an all-white space and you see another Black person and it's like, I see you, you see me. You know? Like this, in my work building, this Black man was like, hey. He just saw me walking by. He was like, hey. And he did the Wakanda. He did the Wakanda salute. I was dying laughing. But
that's funny.
I love that. I love our sense of humor. I love our sense of style. I love our hair. I love my skin. I love my lips. I love my booty. Okay? So I love all of that. Not even just the superficial stuff, but just like the, and I know a lot of people say African Americans don't have culture, but we for sure do. Because how we all do the same stuff on Thanksgiving. How we all eat the same food at baby showers. Like, we for sure got a culture.
We may not have, like, a traditional or rooted culture,
we
would
do,
say.
though. At this point, we do.
Like, at this point, we do. I'm saying, like, people think because it's not, like other races, like how other races do stuff where it's been, like, consistent, like, for years and stuff like that. But what people need to understand is that a lot of stuff was ripped from us, and Black people were placed in so many different places to where now we have so many different traditions depending on where we were placed. You get what I'm saying?
Spades, dominoes. I'm just thinking of stuff like that, you know?
So, but I definitely love everything about being Black, and I think everybody else loves everything about being Black too, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be Black, but they don't want to be Black.
Facts.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Because you want to be Black so bad, but when it's time, if they say all the Blacks line up on one side, and if you ain't Black, line up on the other side, are you gonna stand on the Black side? You gonna remember real quick that you're not Black,
right?
So, yes, I love everything about being Black.
Pride
period.
Period. Anyways, guys, so that was our show. We spent a lot of time talking about some heavy stuff, but it was needed. That story needed to be told. We needed to talk about it, and we needed to unpack and discuss in celebration of Juneteenth.
For sure.
You feel me? So, you guys, thank you so much for joining in the comments. I just want to read these last two because they're really good. RDS, I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for listening. He said, I think the statement has a dual perspective. When they see us as they perceive, they're threatened and work to diminish our power. Also, when they see us, the true us, we survive, rise to the top, and over fucking come.
Yes.
And Maria said, I am proud of my young black and brown girls. They are smart, beautiful, going to
Yes.
change the world. They love Jesus and they will leave a legacy. Their
Yes.
beautiful locks and strong, powerful character. They will have the ability to be the next woman president. Yes, Maria, and you are doing a great job with your girls. Okay. I do. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining in the comments. Next week we will not be live, but you guys can still comment and talk amongst yourselves. But we will be recording next week's episode from 8811 Day Party. Okay,
yes, this Saturday.
We will be there. We are a part of the media for their BET weekend party, so we're super excited about that.
Yes, come through.
Please come through. Buy me a shot for my birthday.
Moni's birthday.
I'll struggle with taking it.
I'll struggle with taking
come
it.
through. It's June 22nd on Saturday. It is at
The
one of
Exchange.
those the
Exchange
Exchange
LA.
in downtown LA. You guys could still buy cheap tickets right now. It's always fucking lit.
Yes.
It's always a good time. We will be
Yes.
there. Turn up with your girls. We gonna be in there looking like some Fanta sodas.
Yeah, so you should see 88th by 11 mile tagged somehow on our Insta story. You can actually click the link in their bio to buy tickets to the day party for BT weekend this weekend. And it's gonna be lit. I'm so excited.
I am too. I'm excited for us to do our thing and look cute and turn up. And
So if you guys want to hear
yeah.
our show, let us know. And we can kind of direct you guys as to where we'll be set up at the day party. And then, of course, afterwards, we'll be turning up and drinking for Moni's birthday. So,
yes, I'm going to be wildin'. I'm not going to drive.
Oh, my gosh. And if you guys want to continue the celebration with us, me and Moni will be at Brunch to Bomb on Sunday, which is June 23rd. If you guys would like to come through, join the wait list now. I believe you can still purchase tickets at the door if you arrive early, I believe before 2 o'clock. So party with us. I'm excited.
Coming through.
Oh, my gosh. So silly.
I'm just thinking about how tired I'm going to be.
Okay,
but
well,
I'm going to be happy because I'm going to be around the people I love, the people that love me.
Yes, good. Make sure you follow us at Never Not Extra, spelled just like that, on
Just
Instagram,
like
so you can keep up with us and know what it is that we're doing. My personal page is at higher.levels.only.
And my personal page is Moni Meets World.
She's so upset about it. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. Thank you for all the birthday wishes that you guys wished Moni.
Thank you so much, and thank you for bringing that. Thank you for putting this together because I love it. You know, I appreciate everything.
You're welcome. You're very much welcome.
Love you.
Until next Tuesday. Well, until next Tuesday. Bye.